Hey guys, welcome to the garden. Just about to head over and knock out my cold plunge and sauna routine for the afternoon, and I thought it'd be a cool time to share another story from the book, because it's been a little while. This story comes from chapter 6 in the book when I was doing international medical evacuations for a shady broker out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida named Al. Al was quite a guy. This is one of the crazier stories in the book, but definitely not the craziest, so hopefully you like it. We met our ambulance driver and we headed to the hospital. It was a concrete box with flickering lights. The patients were screaming. It was literally like a scene out of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Only this wasn't a psychiatric facility. I had $40,000 American cash in an envelope to pay the hospital bill, and I handed it to the head doctor. He came back apologizing, but the money needed to be in local currency. Go figure. The ambulance driver eagerly offered to take me to the exchange office, so I had my paramedic partner, Danny, stay with the patient and ensure that they didn't move him or tack on additional procedures to run up the bill. For some unknown reason, I kept the drug bag with me. The driver looked wrong from the start. He was too quiet, too curious. The further we drove, the fewer lights I saw, and the narrower the road became. Then we turned off the main road down a dirt track. The driver made a phone call in Spanish, not realizing that I was fluent. In his native tongue, I heard him say he had the guy with the money, and that it needed to be a one-shot dead deal. Holy fuck. This son of a bitch was going to kill me. The air smelled like wet dust and diesel. Something in my gut flipped. In English, I asked him where we were going. He didn't answer. He just smiled. You know, that tight, nervous smile that you learn to recognize in war zones? Fuck. I had to make a choice. I slowly unzipped the drug bag and reached down to the bottom, slowly gripping the handle of the 9mm. My mind slowed the way that it always did when things went sideways. One thought at a time, Eric. Breathe, act, survive. In an instant, I pulled the gun from the bag. It was always around in the chamber, so no need to rack it. I just leveled the gun and pressed it hard into his right temple. He froze. I told him in the calmest Spanish I could muster that he was going to drive me back now. If he moved his hands from the wheel, I was going to blow his fucking brains out. He nodded, hands shaking, but not as much as mine. We drove in silence, the pistol steady in my hand, pressed to his head. I was as calm as I'd been on that plane home from Boston with Sarah. Inside, I was shaking like a dog shit in razor blades. How the hell did I always find myself here? Eventually, we got back to the city. We changed the money. We got the patient and headed back to the airport. The plane was waiting, engines idling. Lance grinned when he saw me, and he said, "What the hell took you so long?" I didn't answer. For the first time in years, the adrenaline didn't feel like life. It felt like death breathing down my neck. As I came down from another adrenaline-fueled ego high, I sat half nodding off in the cracked, tape-patched leather seat of the Lear 25, and I said to myself, something's got to give. That story was wild, to say the least. The thoughts that went through my mind of, good God, man, I'm going to have to kill this ambulance driver here, and still got to get the patient back to the United States. And, I mean, just craziness. So there's more stories like this in my book, Becoming the Warrior in the Garden, A Search for Peace. It's available on Amazon in paperback, hardcover, ebook, and coming soon in the beginning of this year, I'm going to be doing an audiobook with kind of a different format than you've probably seen in other audiobooks before. So check it out. Hopefully you'll like it. You can also check out my podcast on my YouTube channel, Warrior in the Garden. We'll see you next time.